Keep the condom in the pack. This is RawTruth. We're Protege. Today, we're going to talk about prices. Prices are subjective. So let's talk about it. In a market economy that we have today, we see things that rise in prices. If there's no tyranny and no political bullshit going on in the background, for the most part, prices are based off of like our resources and how much you're willing to pay for something. But see, here's the thing. Someone can't charge you $100 for a banana because who the fuck is gonna pay $100 for one banana? That's why a banana is not $100. If they could charge us $100 for a banana, they would be $100. So let's just keep it to common sense. No matter how you walk into a store and how you feel about prices, you have to understand this is not your business. But if it was, let's talk about it. If I buy something that's $15, but I'm trying to make a living off of this, I'm trying to create a business, I'm trying to create a successful life off of this, why the fuck would I just sell it for $15? I'm going to resell it for enough shit where I make a profit and I'm able to redip these profits and show into these resources and still continue to make a profit. Because profit is what thrives us as a community. That's what keeps everybody working as employees, as the entrepreneurs, as the CEOs, as whatever. It's what keeps us working. It's what keeps production in production. It's what keeps the resources flowing in a great way. And when I say that's what motivates us as profits is, if I know if I go to work, I'm gonna make $1,000, right? But I know that out of that $1,000, I'll have 500 of it to keep. That's more motivating than shit, nigga. This is all about to go to the bills. Fuck it, I'm gonna call off. I'm not doing shit but paying bills anyway, you know? When a company sees things like, say the power's out, they want you to pay your light bills. This isn't, you know what I'm saying? This isn't one of them situations where you can just turn everybody's lights on, everybody's got the same price, it doesn't matter. No, you want to get those people, especially in them good neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it like that, but where the money is really thriving, that's where you want to get the lights on. Because that's where our money's at. We don't want these people to be upset. Customer service comes into play when people make profits. And for people who don't understand it from a business perspective, because we're not business owners, think about it like your weed man or whatever, right? Your weed man, he been selling ounces to you for $150 for years. All of a sudden, plug go to jail, he gotta find a new plug. New plug costs him more money. So he tells you, hey, yo, nah, I gotta charge you $180 for these ounces. It's up to you to decide if you want to continue to buy that product. But some people will continue to buy the product if it's worth it. So you pour your money into it. You take the price upping because it makes sense. That man's not gonna lose his profits just to satisfy people. That don't make no fucking sense. If I'm making money just because I'm putting out production, then I don't give a fuck about you. But if my production has to impress you and keep you happy, or you won't spend money with me, then I have to make sure you are happy. Or I won't make any money, you know? Same thing like when it comes to businesses, I guess you would say, can't think of the fucking word right now, but growing into the state of change, right? Like little mom and pop shops for grocery stores ended up turning into Walmarts and shit. Walmart's really the only kind of Walmart I know, but we have like a lot of grocery stores that sell everything now, like Publix, Kroger's, you know. Back in the day, you just go get food and then you would go get your cleaning supplies from somewhere and somebody made all of this convenient and kept it in the right price to where it could compete with somebody. And that's how they started to make profits. They wanted to, how could I steal these people's customers, you know? But if only one person can do it, why the fuck would anybody create anything? That's why these countries who have things like socialism and communism, you know, those type of economic systems running through their country, that's why they don't have shit. That's why they're so far behind with technology advances. I cannot talk proper right now. But that's why they're not where they need to be there. Half the time, these motherfuckers is giving us the products we need to use all this cool shit, but they can't use it. Because only one person's allowed to sell it. Competition isn't allowed to rise. When you have prices, you want somebody who comes along is like, yo, I can beat that price. I can beat the quality of the product. And that's how we get new products. We get new things. That's how we keep the life flowing. But if we take something, right, and we put it on price control, or we make it cheap, or we stop people from being able to make a certain amount of profit on things, then again, you kill motivation. And when you kill the motivation in people, we don't have shit. We have people out here advocating for free healthcare and don't know what the fuck that means. In other countries, people are on the waiting list for 6 months. Longer, sometimes 4 to 6 months. It's a little shorter for people who want to be technical. It's a 4 to 6 months wait for most of these free healthcare countries, right? For a fucking checkup. People are doing major surgeries and they're dying because they can't get their seat in time because everything's free. Doctors aren't motivated. They get paid regardless. And they ain't getting paid more to do this surgery. Why the fuck would they have a better hospital than the guy down the street? Everybody's got the same motivation here. The hell? Hell, people don't even be doctors no more. I ain't making no money. You know, in Cuba, doctors make more taxi drivers make more money than doctors. That's the healthcare system you want? To die for something that you could have caused your doctor for because you don't want to pay for it. Because you want free healthcare. You want the government to align something. When the government controls something they do not understand, it just ends up being shit. But it paints you this pretty old picture that we all fucking start to, not all of us, but people start to fucking believe in, and that creates the problem. That's what free healthcare would do. And just to take it back to something that America has done is rent control. You know, they had rent control in New York and California during the Great Depression. Price control when it comes to price gouging, too, for California. These countries have some of the highest cost of living today. And that is why. These people, you had landlords, they don't fix shit. Because there's nobody moving. You got people staying in homes way longer than any other country. I mean, not any other country, any other state. All of that shit. New York's housing market is fucking shit. And everybody's like, oh, New York pays you so much money to live there. That's because if you take the price of the living and you compare it to the wages they're giving you, they literally just probably paying you the same $7 they paying you in your state. Or if you have one of those states who have a higher minimum wage, whatever your minimum wage is in your state, it's probably the same. When we all look it up or things, so you're probably actually making more money than people in New York when you put it down to fuck the 1, 2s, and 3. What's the value of the dollar in each state? You know? So like I said, when you put price control on something like rent, you think your landlord don't fix your fucking water now? Wait till that motherfucker don't make no money off you. Wait till they know you gonna live there 10 years and then nothing's, what? Stop. Fucking stop. And then you'll have people who will buy 5 fucking places to live and only be 1 or 2 people. Don't even stay in these homes. They're buying up all the vacation homes. Now you have less fucking homes. Now you have more of a homeless problem. So you got people who could afford the shit, so you make it affordable. But you got the motherfuckers who already could afford it in the begin with. So now they about to run it up, live in luxury. And now you're just going to be fighting to see who could get there first. And if you don't make it there on time, your ass could be homeless. Because you didn't like the price of living. We could talk about lowering the price of living, but we have to talk about why it's so high. Is it high because of supply and demand? Or is it high because of things that the politicians have put behind shit? Like, because we have to admit that. Some things are high just simply due to the politicians, like healthcare. Nobody ever wants to talk about how to make affordable healthcare. I don't know why, because in reality, it's like all the government shit inside of it, all the restrictions. They have a price control inside of healthcare, so all they fucking do is mark up all the goddamn medicine so they can get a better interest rate off of you. A whole bunch of shit goes into that from the fucking government. You pull all that shit out, we'd have affordable healthcare. But we don't want to talk about that. We just want to talk about free or just cry about how it's so fucking high. You cannot just trade off problems. We have to really sit down and think about solutions to the problems we have. If we do feel like things are too high, why are they high? Is it because of supply and demand? Because if it's supply and demand, that's how the fucking market works. This is why businesses go out of business. This is why businesses thrive. Because sometimes it wouldn't matter if you have the highest or the lowest price. Sometimes it's about quality. But quality leaves the fucking market when you start trying to control people's profits. So again, I'm broke as shit. I'm one of those people who live paycheck to paycheck. But I live in reality. Sitting around and asking for somebody to make this shit easier for me in the most horrible way without actually sitting down and thinking about it. Like, damn, maybe I do want rent control. Motherfucker, we've tried that. It didn't work. Okay? History tells us what fucking happens with that shit already, so let's try something new. Or really get down to, do we have a capitalist system in America? Is it truly a capitalist system in America? And if not, how do we get it back to that point? Because I would argue that it's more controlled by corporates and corporate people buying into politicians and, you know, just the government fucking around with the richest people. And they're running around playing the rules, writing the business rules to keep people from growing and with their business, to keep competition from uprising. All of that shit goes into it. But we cannot get at what's causing the root of the problem if you're being sold a false dream that you don't even look into the details of the dream. You ain't even watching the fucking movie. You got the title and the preview and was like, yep, that sounds really fucking good. No, it doesn't. The fact that we all, not all of us, I keep saying all, the fact that a lot of people were out here pushing for stimulus checks and unemployment, all of that shit, and then look at the prices of today, and you're the people complaining. That's the fucked up part, because you asked for all that free shit, and because you thought it was free. No, the government never gives you free. First of all, that's all our money they're spending to begin with. Like, what the fuck? And then they're just gonna make you pay for it in other ways, like interest and taxes. So you thought forcing a company to pay you, even though you're not working, was gonna work? That motherfucker finna get their money back. What you talking about? What are you talking about? All of that shit, you thought the government was the government ain't even finna lose our money for us. They like, oh yeah, nah, we lost way too much off of them. Charge them more this round. Like, what the fuck? A lot of shit goes into this. And it starts with us educating ourselves. If you hate something, figure out why you hate it. Because I do think that the cost of living is incredibly high. But I know that asking for shit to be controlled and free is not the answer. Maybe we should take a look at other routes. Because some things I do think are at the exact price they need to be because of supply and demand. But some things are so far-fetched, it's like, come on, bro, I'll slap the fuck out you, sir. But then I just don't buy that shit because that's my personal choice. So again, if you have something you hate, the first step into fixing it is understanding it. Right? Fuck the or. The first step to fixing something you hate is understanding it. And once you understand it, then look at it from different point of views. Think about shit with an open mind. Be willing to learn. Stop being mad and emotional when we're talking about these things. Because that's how we keep getting the wrong people in office. That's how we keep voting for the bullshit. It's how we keep ourselves ignorant. We have to be better as a people when it comes to educating ourselves. If Americans educated ourselves, we already are a top-tier country. Nobody could touch us, including our government. Keep the condom in the pack. This is Raw Truth. We're Protege.